Hello, this is the Kenyan Siasa, and I'm your host, Bali Odawa Nadawa. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, on Wednesday, the Homa Bay Town Constituency MP, Peter Kaluma, made a special tweet addressing the President William Ruto. In this tweet, Peter Kaluma says that the Mount Kenya region, the Gamer voting bloc, is no longer with President William Ruto. That the Mount Kenya voting bloc is gone, meaning that come 2027 general elections, they won't vote for President William Ruto. Again, in this special tweet address to President William Ruto, Peter Kaluma is advising President Ruto to explore alternative frontiers to fill the void that is going to be created by the Mount Kenya region exit. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, in this episode, we are evaluating some of the reasons as to why the Mount Kenya region has left President William Ruto. The Gamer Nation is no longer with President William Ruto. And again, we are exploring some of the options that President William Ruto has as we gear towards the 2027 general elections to compensate for the deficit that will be created by this exit of Mount Kenya voting bloc. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, it will be remembered that in the 2022 general elections, the Mount Kenya region voted to the last man of President William Ruto. President William Ruto carried the day. It will be remembered that the Mount Kenya region gave President William Ruto more than half of the total votes that he got in that general elections. Therefore, this was a very critical voting bloc for him. Without them, President William Ruto couldn't have made it to the presidency. And now, with Mount Kenya leaving, it basically means that a huge void, a huge vacuum is going to be created. And President William Ruto is going to have a Herculean task in filling this void that is going to be created courtesy of the Gamer Nation exit from the UDA or from the Kenya Kwanza coalition. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, why has the Gamer Nation abandoned President William Ruto? Number one, the Gamer Nation feel betrayed. Why are they betrayed? Why do they feel betrayed? Because in the 2022 general elections campaigns, President William Ruto passionately sold to them the gospel of Raila Amolo Odinga being a bad person, a person who does politics of conmanship and deceit, a dynasty who does not resonate with the tough livelihoods of the common mwananchi, of the hustlers, the mamambogas, and the borders. And indeed, the clarion call was, let's send this man packing, P.O. Box to Bondo, P.O. Box to political oblivion. And the Gamer Nation did their part. They voted against Raila Amolo Odinga, and people believe that finally they have sent him to Bondo, never to be seen again at the echelon of the Kenyan political arena. However, approximately 2 years down the line, after President William Ruto had been elected, friction emerged between him and the immediate former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. And post the Gen Z's demos. Last year, around the month of June, President William Ruto made a pact with Raila Amolo Odinga. President William Ruto engaged Raila Amolo Odinga, and they agreed on a working political partnership arrangement, aka broad-based government. And President William Ruto sacked the entire cabinet, then later retained some of the CS, however, sent some packing and created spaces, special dockets for Raila Amolo Odinga's lieutenants. Here we are talking about the Ministry of Energy, taken by Opiyo and I, the Ministry of Treasury by Mbadi, the Ministry of Cooperatives by Oparanya, the Ministry of Mining and Blue Economy, which was given to Ali Hassan Joho, the seat of Attorney General, also given to Raila, and also the Ministry of East African Community, given to Raila. So technically, Raila Amolo Odinga currently is part and parcel of this government. Therefore, with this action, the Gamer Nation felt betrayed, that you told us that this man isn't a good person, a person who does politics of deceit and conmanship, a dynasty who doesn't resonate without problems, hardships, as the common wananchi, as the hustlers, as the mambogas, as the borders. And now you've brought him on board, working with him, and actually you're now closer to him than our son, Rigathi Gachagua. So they have left, or they're no longer in good terms with President William Ruto, because President William Ruto entered into a working relationship with Raila Amolo Odinga. Another reason as to why they're disappointed with President William Ruto, or bitter with President William Ruto, is the fact, or is the issue of Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment. Yes, after President William Ruto impeached Rigathi Gachagua, he gave that seat, or he appointed a person from Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya East, Kithure Kindiki. However, they view Kithure Kindiki as a puppet. Therefore, they feel betrayed that Rigathi Gachagua did a great job in making sure that the Mount Kenya region was consolidated fully for William Ruto, and indeed he delivered. However, down the line, after President William Ruto has now assumed power, he engineered an impeachment motion that actually made Gachagua to be impeached. Therefore, they feel betrayed by the act of President William Ruto engineering that impeachment motion. Another reason as to why the Gamer Nation feel betrayed, or another reason as to why the Gamer Nation is no longer with William Ruto, is because President William Ruto gave lots and lots of promises to this Mount Kenya region with regards to improving their livelihoods, with regards to making the economy work for them, so that their businesses would thrive. However, 2 years down the line, nothing much has been done to the betterment of the livelihood of the Mount Kenya region, and generally the country as a whole. Therefore, they feel there is that sense of unfulfilled promises. And now, what should Ruto do? President William Ruto should come to terms with the reality that the Gamer Nation is no longer with him, and he's supposed now to explore new frontiers, new avenues, seduce Raila, talk to Raila well, so that maybe Raila seduce Raila not to run for the presidency in the year 2027 and talk to Raila to endorse him so that he can take the support base of Raila Amolo Odinga in order to compensate the void that has been created by the airway exit of the Mount Kenya region. Another thing that President William Ruto should now do is to look for another running mate come 2027 general elections, because Kithure Kindiki won't deliver any substantial votes to him, considering the fact that the Game Nation is already gone. Therefore, he can settle for a running mate from the Western Kenya region or any other region to increase his chances of filling the void or the vacuum that has been created by the Game Nation's exit. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, we reach the halt of this episode. For those of you who are subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we're humbled, we're glad, thank you. And for those of you who are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we beseech you to show us some love by subscribing, then hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload content. Until next time, I'm Jabali, Udawa, and Adawa. Bye-bye.